In this matter, I want to make in respect of all the matters a composite
Which are the
submission.
matters?
This is 19. If the 19th petitioner is present, I can. Anybody is present for the next petition or that I can.
20, I'm for 20.
The losses can take it up 20. I am not in respect of mutual or single. My submission will be composite submissions in respect of all transfers. Take it up 20.
Very well, 19 ta pass over tha.
I mean 19 for the DPSC. One
I
DPSC.
think 19
yes.
is mutual. I am not aware.
20 is
20 is
mutual.
All are mutual.
20
Even I find number of transfer matters
Mutual.
are single transfers in respect of all. Mutual transfer, so for concern, maybe little easier, but your lawsuits, my submissions covers all.
Your submission will be against transfer.
Not against transfer. I tell you, lawsuits. I'm not against transfer because it's a statutory provision. I can't say the board will be against the transfer, prayer of a transfer. Whether that will be allowed or rejected, that's the fun aspect. Now, if your lawsuits kindly, I just tell you, lawsuits, the provisions of the law, how this has developed. Now, transfer rules of 2001. Your lawsuits will
One
find
or two?
2001. Two. I'm sorry, two. 2000.
2002.
Now, your lawsuits will find there is a provision for mutual transfer and single transfer.
Yes.
If your lawsuits kindly take up the rules 3, this is role strength of teacher.
Yes, yes.
This applies to all transfer. If the role strength do not permit, there should not be any transfer. So for 4 is concerned, your lawsuit, there are 2 transfer. One on its own motion and another on an application from a teacher. Now here your lawsuits initially was that approved service for confirmed service for 2 years continuous service in both in case of mutual and single transfer. Then therefore the board will proceed for the consideration. What I am on today, your lawsuits, procedure for transfer. Initial rule was that teachers seeking transfer under clause B of rule 4 shall submit his application for transfer with reasons thereof to the concerned sub-inspector of schools. Therefore, the application mode was application directly to the sub-inspector of schools. This mode still remains, but only designated through online submission designated portal. Now, I am concerned so for the board, so for the council is concerned, that is intra-district transfer. We are not concerned with that. Mostly this is come up inter-council transfer, which the board has to proceed. Inter-council from one district to another council, one council to another. Suppose from Hooghly to Coach Bihar. Now, these provisions was there initially in the under section 19K, but the board didn't face this situation earlier. Board is now facing 1 or 2 matters there that didn't board really bothered about that to carry out his statutory functions. What happened, your lawsuits? The 2020, the recruitment rules were amended. Recruitment rules provided a state-wise panel. So, state-wise panel, if any persons, one district do not have any vacancy, but the other district have vacancy, a candidate can be appointed. It's for the benefit of the candidates also. Now, because of these provisions, now once he gets an appointment, he goes to Coach Bihar, he or she. Now, after 1 or 2 years, always, it's a human inclination that he will come back to his home. He applies for that, whatever may be the reason. I'm not on the reason. He applies for transfer to his home district, either by mutual or by single transfer by showing the reasons, medical, all other things. Now, here your lawsuit, because of this change of mode of appointment, now the board is flooded with applications. This situation was anticipated probably by the state because of this. And it's not that the Utsoshi portal applied to the primary school teachers, it's applied to the secondary, higher secondary, all. It's a common portal opened by the state. But I think your lawsuits have gone to this one. I have only one copy. The basic notice of the Utsoshi portal. Your lawsuits, kindly have a look at this. I think the petition petition no.
Yes, I have annexed it in my petition.
Even this is kindly have a look at this. This is 26th August 2021. May I just place it to your lawsuits? The matter regarding implementation of transparent online process for transfer of teaching and non-teaching staff engaged in different government-aided and government-sponsored primary and upper primary, secondary or higher secondary schools has been under active consideration of the government for some time past. Now, after careful consideration of the matter, the governor is pleased to announce a web portal named Utsosh. Then your losses kindly take note of that. https//utsosh banglashikha.government.in Utsoshi has been launched to implement a transparent and error-free online process of transfer in respect of all eligible teaching and non-teaching staff engaged in different government-aided and government-sponsored primary, upper primary, secondary, higher secondary schools under the control of the Department of the School Education, Government of West Bengal. Malad, this portal was opened on Malad by this notification 26/8/2021. After this portal was initiated or opened, your losses, rule was transferred.
Attached with the petition.
Malad, your losses.
Attached.
Not, I have chronologically kept it so that your losses can deal with it. Kindly look at this notification, 13th September 2021. Now your losses, kindly look at next page. Rule 3(5). Rule 5. A sub rule 1 substitute the following sub of a teacher seeking transfer applicant under clause B of rule 4 shall submit his online application through a designated portal for transfer stating the grounds mentioned in sub rule 3 to the concerned sub-inspector of schools, and the concerned sub-inspector of schools shall subsequently send such application with his specific views report to the concerned council. Malad, by this amendment of rule, following that notice of the governor, Malad, this rule was amended. Now, after this, Malad, the designated portal, all sorts of transfers was being dealt with. Malad, there was no problem with that so far board is concerned. Board was right, Malad, very efficiently was dealing with this problem. There was no administrative disorder or anything in the. Number one thing I tell you, losses, so far the board is concerned, infrastructure of the board is very limited. Now, often your losses direct either secretary or the president to deal with the transfer immediately. Obviously, your losses, because though the rules provides council, every order of transfer cannot be considered by a body. It should be done by the head of the board. That's right. But now the board, a secretary has to engage thousands of applications now. He becomes more difficult for him to perform his regular duties. Why I'm telling you losses? Your losses will find here in the 3A how the transfer to be dealt with. Detailed provisions. Pupil-teacher ratio, medical ground, then how long he is there in that school. It carries marks also. Your losses will find that in the very next page of these amended rules. Kindly go to the next. Particulars and markings. Service rendered in present school and the post last date, all that. I'm not detailing it. How much distance he has to cover, all that. So that it can be done according to the government's intention, error-free and transparent. So and your losses didn't face it also. And now which your losses facing so much of transfer applications. Now, this was everything in respect of a teacher. Every details of all the teachers are in bengal.utsoshi.com. Now, if he applies, now your losses, ultimately when the sub-inspector of schools application comes up before the secretary, he opens the portal, gets the details, not only of the petitioner, but of the other district where he wants to get to be transferred. Now, it becomes possible for him. Now, what happened, your lordships? Kindly come to the notification at dated 29th September 2022. Till this date, the board didn't have any problem. In exercise of the power conferred by Section 107 of the West Bengal Primary Education Act 1973, the governor is pleased to state that is hereby temporarily suspended under special circumstances up to 31st December 2002 or until further order. Then your losses kindly come to the next 30th June 2023. But whereas the state government by notification number such and such has temporarily suspended the transfer portal up to 30th June 2023. Now the next para is very important. And whereas the West Bengal Board of Primary Education, by number such and such, requested the School Education Department to extend the suspension period of Utsoshi portal till 31st December 2023 due to ongoing recruitment process related to issue. And whereas the competent authority school department has considered the request and accepted the same. Now, therefore, in exercise of the power conferred by Section 107 of the Act, the governor is pleased to extend the temporary suspension of online transfer application and processing of online transfer application till 31st December 2023. Now, the question arises now, the first one you'll see by the government. At that point of time, as I find from our records, didn't have any request. Board made this request. I understand your losses immediately catch hold of me. You requested it. Requested because of the recruitment process of 2022. Because I tell you, losses, there are declared vacancies. If the declared vacancies are to be filled up the transfer, the entire process of recruitment will be hampered. That's why board asked for limited stay of the portal. So that the appointments is over, then the filed an application requested the government. Well, there was extension. Your lordships will find the next one. 29th December 2023.
So right now it's till 31st of December 2024.
But what happened, your lordships? I'm not, it's not that I'm quarreling with the state. All the time, by letter, I requested the board, look, my 80% appointments is over. Now I can deal with online application. Please open the portal so that I can deal with it. It was before the last notification. Your lordships will find the last notification of 28th June 2024. Our application, if I'm not wrong, I have just now 11th June 2024. Difficulty was that, that's why I believe, your lordships kindly call for either government leader or the advocate general, because the portal is not for the primary alone. This was for others. Now, as your lordships knows, upper primary and all appointments are state. Probably the commissioner the other says that don't open the portal because our vacancy will be disturbed, all that. I don't know, my lord. But so far we are concerned, we are requested in please open the portal so that I can deal with it. Now that has not been probably acceded to or that. We are wanting before your lordships kindly direct the state. It's so that portal can be open and we can deal with it. Otherwise, the board is facing difficulty. It's almost a single man dealing with thousands of applications. It's
Who's for the state?
that's I think I'm a
My lord, may I make a submission? My lord, I have one submission, specific submission regarding this. What my learned senior friend has stated, he has very nicely portrayed the whole issue. My lord, the first issue, that what are the consequences of temporary suspension of the online portal? Now, initially, all the transfer applications were withheld on that. Matter went up to this honorable division bench, coordinate bench, everywhere. The honorable court held and observed that, see, this portal is only a means of application, making application. And it does not affect the substantive right culminated into the rules itself.
He has not spoken a single
No, I'm not
word
saying
about
that.
the right.
Kindly allow me to finish. Based upon that, with that observation, the honorable division bench as well as the coordinate bench directed the authorities to allow offline applications. So the problem which is being portrayed that due to this online portal is temporarily suspended, for which it cannot be considered or there are difficulties, the court has already considered it and directed, see, you cannot only on the sake of temporary suspension of the portal, you cannot withhold the transfer application because right has enumerated.
No, that is all right.
One.
Lord, in item number 19, my lord, I am appearing for the District Primary School Council.
You are there.
19.
I am 20.
No, the first one which was passed over.
19.
19 was your matter.
No. I'm in 20.
Oh, 19.
In 19, my lord, I am for the District Primary School
And
Council,
somebody
Chargram.
got it in item number 19?
Hmm.
No, somebody else.
My lord, in item.
I tell you, lordship,
May-
my difficulty now. I'm not on individual matter.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I have followed.
What
You
my
want
learned friend
the
division
portal to be made functional.
exactly.
No,
I
even
tell you, lordship, I deal with my learned friend submissions.
Just
What
need to
I
complete
placed
it.
today before your lordships,
You
probably
say
that
you
was
are
not placed
facing.
before the division bench.
You say you are facing trouble in handling
For administrative
offline
function,
applications.
Offline applications.
My lord,
Anyway,
it's
let us
a
see.
similar thing happening
But
for the
then-
secondary. Secondary also the
Yes.
same procedure is going on. This allegation has not come or this trouble has not come.
My lord,
Please take instruction.
my lord, in respect of item number 19, my lord,
Yes.
I am for the District Primary School Council, Chargram, my lord. This application for transfer made by the applicants, that is the, my lord, writ petitioners. Here, my lord, one writ petitioner filed this matter. Two
No,
writ
two, I
petitioners,
see.
if it is, my lord.
Mutual transfer.
If mutual transfer, but my lord, here the application filed on, my lord, 2nd July. The petition filed on 5th July, 2024.
Here I tell you, lordships.
Therefore, and the application was not made to the board. Only it was made to the District Primary Council. How can it be, my lord, considered? It should be dismissed.
I tell you, lordships, another
20,
thing.
not 20.
If, my lord,
20.
when a
19.
I'm not in 90.
My lord, I am conscious of the provisions of law, whether directory or mandatory. When the rule provides a certain procedure, why, my lord, it should be made to the council or board first.
Yes.
It can be forwarded a copy. Why this is, my lord, intended to be submitted to the sub-inspector of schools? Object is that sub-inspector of school is the nodal officer. He knows about his own immediate teacher.
Data is available.
Exactly, your lordships. It has to kindly see the 3A amended rules. So many details have to be performed. And I am concerned, your lordships, inter-council. I'm facing tremendous difficulty. Now the secretary says me that I can't do my regular job. I'm dealing with transfer only. Before the computer, I'm dealing with only computer applications. I can't.
My lord,
So
may I
that's
just
what I'm
submit
saying.
one?
It's not that I'm
My
making
lord,
any submission.
may I
against
make
state.
one submission?
Maybe the state has the, my lord, problem. But this has to be sorted out.
My lord, may just
But
one submission, one humble submission, My lord, one thing, when the rule is there, if you have problem, you stop the rule, repeal the rule, or put an end to it. When the rule is there, when the law gives us the right, it is their obligation to consider it. It is also happening with the secondary, upper primary, everywhere. Nowhere this thing came before it, any of the courts subject to correction, my lord. So far I know that we are suffering from some administrative difficulties. If you're suffering from administrative difficulties, then the rule may be put on hold. One, when the rule is alive, we have every right to make application for consideration. That is one.
You are there
My
for
lord,
the state in
second-
item number
My lord,
20.
I am appealing for the state response.
You also can take instruction.
My lord, I am
As to
appearing in for the
Whatever, the
DPS.
submission is a composite submission. So whoever
Lordship,
for the state is there can take instruction.
Shall talk to the department.
Oh,
my lord, one.
Is concerned, my lord, overall, I have one little submission. My lord, as per my learned friend's submission, which I have followed, my lord, they have no objection regarding the opening of the portal since primary transfer is concerned. But so far, Utsoshi portal is concerned, upper primary, secondary, higher secondary, and primary, it's a composite. If, my lord, suppose, I'm putting this question to myself, if suppose, my lord, higher secondary level, omission will object, because upper primary recruitment is far, not beyond very far. So, my lord, then what will happen? They primary, they have no objection. If, my lord, subject to correction, my lord, if it is well settled, but suspension of portal cannot curtail the right of the aspirant.
Never
It's safe,
ever
my
the
lord.
submission has been made.
My lord,
The
oh,
only submission was administrative difficulty in handling the pressure of the application for transfer.
yes.
It is only this issue. Take
My
instruction
lord, only one thing.
Take
My lord, my lord, so
instruction.
far,
as to, please come.
my lord, so far the mutual transfers, my lord, nobody will be affected, no school, my lord, kindly let the mutual transfers be allowed. Mutual transfer
আমি
data.
এটা হয় নাই, but it's no
We are
problem.
providing
Done like
data.
that.
The
Item
people are in need
19.
of transfer presently because of the health reasons and other reasons. Kindly
The-
appreciates that.
Learned advocate representing the council submits that the council is facing huge difficulty